Okay, guys, for English today, I think that we have a couple really easy activities to do. The first one is about changing verbs to nouns, which sounds like, wow, how do you do that? How do you change an action word to a person, place, or thing? Well, it's really easy. You just add something to the end of the word. Now, there are lots of different suffixes that we can add to verbs, like for instance, the verb invent, we could add ION on the end and it becomes invention. But you know what, boys and girls, we're keeping it so simple today. We're only going to work with two suffixes, ER or OR. So we can turn verbs into nouns by adding the suffix ER at the end or OR at the end. And so let me just show you how. Okay, so I love to teach. Teach is an action verb, right? I am teaching you right now. That's an action word. But I can change this verb into a noun by adding ER, okay? When I add ER to it now, teach, the action is not an action word anymore. It's actually meaning me, right? It's a person, place, or thing. I just changed it into a noun. Okay, now you are a student. You learn every day, right? And learn is a verb. It's an action word, right? Learn. Now, if I want to change this instead of an action word, I want to make it a noun. Okay, so what can I do? I can add the suffix ER. And now all of a sudden, I've changed this word into a noun. Okay, so you learn, so you are a learner, right? You learn, that's a verb, it's an action, but you are a learner. Learner is a noun, it's a person, place, or thing. Okay, so that's pretty easy, right? So let me just show you one with the OR. So let's say we have, remember when we were talking about the Underground Railroad and the person that would conduct uh, the escaping slaves, they were called the conductor, right? So we put an OR on the end, okay? So I would say most of our verbs to noun using this suffix takes the ER, but there are some words that take an OR on the end. Okay, so we are not going to do a workbook page for this. You can take a look at it. It is page 201 for some more examples of changing verbs to noun. Okay, so you can take a look at that. There's lots of examples here, lots of examples on the back. Okay, now here's my challenge because I thought this was way too easy for you guys. I was embarrassed. I think you need to know that. I think you need to know that when you add a suffix ER or OR onto a verb, you can change it into a noun. But I felt like this paper was just too easy for you. So I don't want you to do that paper. Instead, I want you to answer the question below. So I'm going to ask you to change a verb into a noun by adding ER. So I want you to think about an action and then see if you can name a person, place, or thing with that by adding an ER. Okay, so guess what? It cannot be one of these words on here. You've got to come up with your own. Okay, so if I had not already given the example of teacher, you could write teach, teacher. Okay, so that's what you're going to do. You're going to put in the question, when you answer the question, you're going to put the verb, and then you're going to put ER or OR on the end and make a noun. Okay, so that's all we have to do for that exercise. But since that was so easy, we're going to go on to the next grammar activity, the next English activity, and that is homophones. Okay, so let me get my other whiteboard here. So homophones, we have done a little practice with those before. So they're words that sound the same, but they may not be spelled the same, and they may not mean the same thing, but they do sound the same. So this part of the word means same, and this part of the word, phones, means sounds. So when we put those together, they're words that sound alike, okay? So here are some examples, like I ate the apple, I have 8 apples, right? It's a big difference in the meaning, but they sound exactly the same, okay? And we had this as spelling before. We had some homophones for spelling list, remember that? Okay, so we have clothes, like the clothes that you wear, and close, like close the door. Here we have wait, wait a minute, or wait, can you guess my weight, right? Two different words spelled differently, sound the same. Okay, here's one that third graders really need to practice with because I see in your writing, sometimes you get these mixed up a lot. So there means like over there, right? There means their house is down the street, something that belongs to some people. And there, a contraction for they are, right? We worked with that 2 days ago, yesterday. All right, so there, and there, they're all spelled differently. They all mean different things, but they sound exactly the same. So we're going to work with homophones. And I felt like this paper was a little bit too easy too, but I would like you to look it over, especially up here in your definition for homophones. But your assignment today is not the workbook page. This is for your use, for your studying, for taking a second look, because I know I went over it really quickly in the video. But your activity to see how well you understand homophones is going to be IXL assignments. And I've given 3 of them. They really shouldn't take you very long. We're just looking for you to get to that SMART score of 80. You don't have to go all the way to 100. 80 shows me that you've got it. Of course, if you want to go to 100, that's okay. But it really should take you just a few minutes to do all 3 of those. So you're going to answer the question to change a verb to a noun, and you're going to do the 3 IXL assignments. And I'm going to put your IXL assignments in a separate assignment box because I know sometimes kids are forgetting to do that. So maybe if it's in its own separate assignment, you'll remember to do it. Okay? All right. We'll see you later.